So this battle between Marvel and DC, this everlasting battle that seems like it will never end, might have just turned in DC's favor. Let's check it out. If you enjoy videos like this, if you enjoy Marvel news, DC news, Star Wars news, just pop culture news in general with no punches pulled, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the video. So like I said, and I know a lot of people are apprehensive to go in this direction. I know that a lot of people think I'm being hyperbolic. They think that I'm really exaggerating these points. But I think that DC has just taken a major lead in the race between DC and Marvel. We know that there is a race between DC and Marvel. If you try to deny it, then you're lying to yourself. You're lying to me and you're lying to yourself. There's always been a race between DC and Marvel, even before they were put on the big screen, even before they were turned into cinematic universes. DC and Marvel have been somewhat rivals, and it seems like, in my opinion, and I'll explain why, I'll show you why, certain things have been happening recently. I think the tide is turning in DC's favor. I think that Marvel is falling off tremendously. You can see that in the numbers, you can see that in the public opinion of Marvel, you can see that in the enthusiasm of the Marvel diehards, and I think DC is going in a very, very positive direction right now. Right here, we see an article from Deadline. It says Black Adam super $83 million first week, eyes $27 million second frame, Pray for the Devil previews box office. And yeah, 83 million plus $27 million second week. It's not the best. It's not the greatest opening 2 weeks in the world, but that's not what I'm talking about today. It's a solid box office. I think this will end up making a profit. It's not going to make billion-dollar Marvel level profits, but it's also not a big name like Marvel is. In the very beginning of Marvel, they weren't making every single movie $1 billion either. It's only, I guess since like 2017, 2018, where Marvel became a $1 billion movie machine, or the MCU became that every single time, and it's because they built up names like Iron Man, they built up names like Captain America, and they started throwing them in as cameos in these other movies, putting them, they're getting Spider-Man into the MCU, stuff like that, where it's like, of course it's going to make $1 billion. Everybody knows all these characters now. They're household names, the actors are, and of course they're going to make $1 billion a movie. DC is still trying to get to that point. They've made a lot of mistakes in the past where they had it building up. They had the Henry Cavill Superman, and people were liking Man of Steel. I think that the consensus is now that it's a good movie. A lot of people really enjoyed Man of Steel. At first, whenever it came out, it was kind of iffy, kind of half and half. Some people liked it, some people loved it, and some people really didn't like it. Now I think it's more positive. It's kind of like the Star Wars prequels, or at least Revenge of the Sith, where when they first came out, people were like, yeah, I don't know about this. And now, after they've aged a few, 20 years or so, people are really liking them. And it's the same kind of thing with Man of Steel. People are really liking Man of Steel now. I just think that DC is making such positive moves. We see Black Adam himself, Dwayne Johnson, tweeting out, as the lead in Black Adam, which just came out recently, tweeting out how much he doesn't care what the critics are saying. The critics gave Black Adam's, Dwayne Johnson's movie, a horrible score on Rotten Tomatoes. And the audience came out and loved it and gave it like a 90%. Dwayne Johnson came out and tweeted, I don't care what the critics have to say. I only care what the audience says, because 250 critics versus 15,000 audience members who gave the reviews, obviously the audience is going to be weighed a lot more heavily than the critics are. And that's where all your money comes from. It doesn't come from the critics. It comes from the audience, whether the audience likes or dislikes the movie, and whether the audience comes back for the next one or not. That's what matters. And I think DC is making these decisions, and Dwayne Johnson and other people within DC are treating the fans in a way that's going to make them want to come back in the future. This article from Collider says Black Adam continues to rule box office with $83.4 million first week. People are talking very positively. These articles are talking very positively of not just the box office numbers, but also about the actual content itself. People are liking Black Adam. People are liking the direction that DC is going in, and I don't blame them. I'm not a huge DC fan. Definitely not a Marvel fan anymore. They make absolute trash now. So I got to get my Marvel fix somewhere. I've never been a huge DC fan, but I might just become one, because I want to watch superhero stuff. I want to have fun when I go to the movies. I want to be able to go back and watch stuff like Infinity War and Endgame and Civil War, stuff like that. I want DC to become what Marvel should be right now, what Marvel used to be. I'm really rooting for them now, and I think they're making good decisions to go in that direction. Now, I don't know if this is a good decision or not. I see a lot of people saying one way or the other, like, thank God James Gunn is now, the DC's Kevin Feige, or some people are saying, oh no, they want James Gunn to be DC's Kevin Feige. It's not going to work out very well. I don't know. I don't know how anyone can know this, because we've never seen James Gunn in a role like this, as far as I know. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that, but we've never seen James Gunn be like a studio head. I guess he's not really a studio head, but he's in charge creatively of a lot of these projects. I believe Peter Safran is going to be more on the business side, and James Gunn is going to be more like a Kevin Feige, but just the story side of things. He's not going to deal with hires and fires as far as I know. I could be completely wrong on that. Let me know. That was my understanding of this whole situation. I think that's the good way to go, because it's obvious that people like Kathleen Kennedy cannot handle the hires and fires and doing the creative side of things. That's very, very obvious. The sequels are the biggest tell of that. And even The Mandalorian and the positive stuff that came out of Star Wars is also a big tell of that, because whenever she hands it over to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni to go ahead and do their own thing, and she doesn't worry about the story side of things, she just puts them together. She hires Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. That's her side. That's the business side. And she tells them to run with the story. They do a good job. Now, whenever we have the sequel trilogy and she's hiring people left and right, she's hiring J.J. Abrams, she's hiring Rian Johnson, she hired Colin Trevorrow and then fired him, and then hired J.J. Abrams for the last one again. And she's telling them each individually, hey, we're going to make a cohesive story here, a trilogy of movies, but you can go ahead and run with your own story for each of these movies. It's so stupid. I guess it's kind of unreasonable to expect everyone to be able to do what Kevin Feige did, up until Endgame. It's pretty unreasonable, because there is only one Kevin Feige for a reason. I think this is the way to go right here. I think having one person worry about the creative decisions, one person worry about the business decisions, the budgets, the hires and fires and things like that is the way to go, especially if these two can work well together. If they have a decent relationship. I'm not sure if they do or not. Let me know in the comments if there's any inside info on that. I don't know, but if they can develop that, if they do have that already, or if they can develop it, it can be really, really good. This can work out really, really well, because I know that James Gunn does have a decently creative mind. I do enjoy the Guardians movies. They get a little bit too funny at times. They give everyone a joke, and I don't think everyone needs a joke. I think we could have a little bit more serious moments in there. It's kind of like a Taika Waititi problem as well. But I do think that they're pretty good movies. I do enjoy them quite a bit. So I think that James Gunn definitely has a good creative mind. I don't think that this was a terrible decision. And if he was behind any of the decisions that came in Black Adam, like bringing Henry Cavill back as Superman, then that's also great. And then we have Marvel, on the other hand, doing DC's job for them, pretty much doing all the marketing that they need. I just pulled this one article up just because it's kind of recent, but Marvel has been just trashing their fans and trashing their content recently, and it's free real estate, it's free promotion for DC to come in and just take over Marvel. That's what we're going to see. That's my prediction. I think we're going to see DC come in and overthrow Marvel and become the new Marvel, become what Marvel was in 2018, 2019. Marvel scaling back Black Panther Wakanda Forever merch plans out of concern that sequel's lack of T'Challa may alienate black male audiences. I don't think it's just going to alienate black male audiences. I think they're trying on purpose to alienate male audiences for whatever reason. They want to capture that new audience. They want to capture the shaved head feminist audience. Go ahead and capture that audience. DC's out there trying to just grab everyone that they can, say, hey, you're running away from Marvel? Come on in. They're welcoming us in with open arms, especially when you have people like Dwayne Johnson tweeting out what he tweeted out, like, F the critics, I only care about the fans. Stuff like that is going to make everyone want to go in DC's direction, including myself. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that DC will actually overthrow Marvel? Because I truly do think that is happening with the good decisions that DC is making. They're actually trying to get better. Marvel is actively trying to alienate their audience. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you on the next one.